Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red this Monday morning, this rather warm, sunny new beginning. Praise the Lord, Monday morning. We're moved on to a new chapter today, Matthew chapter 26. And Jesus, having come out of giving insight into the end of the age and the eschatological events of how things will be at the end, he now then introduces the disciples to a new tension focus in verse 26, in chapter 26, verse 2. He says this: "You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man is to be handed over for crucifixion." And so now Jesus is not mincing his words. He's not kind of like speaking to them in pictorial, parable language. He comes straight at them and he says, "Look, boys, in a couple of days, the Passover's coming." And, the event of the Passover was a regular event, and everyone knew it was coming. And Jesus says, and in this Passover, something dramatic is going to happen. I'm basically going to be taken away from you. I'm going to be arrested. I'm going to be preparing for the journey of crucifixion. And crucifixion was this death on a cross that was horrific in terms of the way someone died. Primarily what they did was, as they lifted themselves up off of their nailed arms and they breathed in, eventually they could not breathe anymore. And as a result of that, they lost the ability to breathe because they were exhausted. Even though everything in them wanted to breathe, they had no more energy to breathe. And so eventually they did this slow death and died. That event in itself was an horrific thing. But many people were crucified. But the difference between this crucifixion and the crucifixion that was going to take place with in other situations was Jesus was innocent. Everyone else, perhaps, I don't know, were guilty of something, but Jesus was innocent. He never committed any sin. He died a death not deserving of death, and yet he did it because it was part of God's plan. And when Jesus tells the disciples the Passover's coming, so we've basically arrived somewhere, we've got to our destination, and then at this Passover, I'm going to be arrested and I'm going to prepare the journey that will lead me to crucifixion. And that idea that God has been preparing the journey has been the reality of the truth ever since everything went wrong. When things went wrong in heaven and God cast out Satan out of heaven into the earth, he made a plan of redemption as it relates to what would take place regarding dealing with Satan and all those who rebelled. And then the journey that Satan took man into when Satan led Adam into sin and man sinned and man rebelled. God had a plan. Long before the world ever began, God had a plan. He knew the things that would happen, but he had a plan. And brothers and sisters, God has got a plan for your life as well. God has made provision for your life. I don't know what your life is like, but God has got plans for it. And if you would just but come back into God's way, then you can step into God's plans. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.